Hi, boys and girls. It is Saturday morning at my house, and I want to read for you chapter 20, the last chapter in Poppy. And thanks to those of you that have joined in so far with the read aloud, with one of Mrs. Peters' favorite read alouds. Thanks to Lily, who encouraged me last night in a message to make sure I got chapter 20 up in our Google Classroom. So I promised her I would do that this morning. Thanks, Lily. Let's see, I was able to go to our classroom and get our book, so it's a little easier for me now to show you some pictures that you did not get to see before. And so I'm going to show you this picture. You can see that. So that picture is of Poppy as she raced home. That was over the bridge to her family after she had seen Aerith. And then this picture is when she arrives at the home that her family's living in, and Lungwort was addressing the entire mouse family. And so at the very end of that chapter, I thought it was kind of interesting. After Poppy has announced that Mr. Okax is dead, her father, Lungwort, says, "Ah, Poppy, didn't I say that if you listened to my advice, all would be well?" I'm thinking, oh goodness, I'm glad she didn't listen to his advice. But we should, right, boys and girls, listen to our parents' advice? Okay, here we go. Chapter 20 is fairly short. I'm going to it's called A New Beginning, and I'm going to show you, I'll read a bit and then I'll show you the picture and then we'll finish. So it says, almost 13 full moons to the night since Mr. Okax killed Ragweed, Poppy and her husband, Rye, how they met and married is another story, stood on Bannock Hill with their litter of 11 young mice. They had formed a circle around a small hazelnut tree. Looking on, beneath a full golden moon, was Aerith, the porcupine. This tree, Poppy was saying to her rather restless children, was planted after a fashion by my late and dear friend, Ragweed. I'm going to show you that picture so you can kind of picture that in your head. So there they are on Bannock Hill, where the story began. There's Poppy and Rye, and their 11 children. And then notice Aerith is with them. We've got the hazelnut tree, and then what do you imagine is perched up there? And they're under a golden moon. So, okay, let's finish this up. I can't be sure that it was he who dropped the seed nut from which this tree has grown, but I would like to think so. Though it is rather frail now, someday this tree will be mighty. I want to affix this, here she held up a small earring, to a high branch, so as the tree grows, it will glitter in the sky for all of us to see. Hey, does Ma love making long speeches, or does she? Whispered one of the litter to her brother. And here on Bannock Hill, Poppy continued, once forbidden to us, though we too live in Dimwood Forest, we shall have our dancing place. It doesn't matter how you dance, my children, slow or fast, by jumps or steps, as long as you are free to dance in the open air by the light of the moon, all will be well. Now, Aerith, if you please. Old Aerith, murmuring mouse muck under his breath, gave a grunt, but began to shake and rattle his quills until he settled into a steady beat. Then the 11 young litter mice began to dance their own way, with jiggles and jumps and leaps and lopes. As for Poppy and Rye, they spun around and around in a stately waltz, dancing by the light of the moon and the earring, which glittered high on the hazelnut tree. And that is the end of Poppy. So what a great story. And again, I've discovered that there are actually 5 books in this series. Poppy is the second. I'm kind of considering getting one of the future ones. I don't have it yet, but either Poppy and Rye, and we can continue the story, or perhaps there's also a story of Aerith. So I'll be thinking about that. But in the meantime, I think we're going to next read this book. I know we're all living at home with our families, with our siblings, with our parents, maybe grandparents, all kind of stuck together. And this is a story of a boy named Milo who is trying to be a perfect person. He's kind of grown tired of his sister yelling at him and his parents getting impatient with him. And it's kind of a fun story. It's not very long. It only has 6 chapters. But it's all about his efforts to try and become a perfect person in just 3 days. So I thought it would be kind of a fun read aloud next. And then after that, I have some ideas. One I'm considering that is a great story. I'm just not sure how many of you have heard it before. Might be The Tale of Despero, which is actually also written by Kate DiCamillo, who wrote Because of Winn-Dixie. And so this is a possibility. I ordered a few other books on Amazon. So anyway, looking forward to that. And I'm really happy for those of you that are joining. And soon I will start reading Be a Perfect Person in just 3 days. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. Looking forward to when we can see each other in person. Bye-bye.